Hey everybody, welcome back to the AfterLife SMP server. This is season 4 and Spawn's coming along. You can see all these beautiful pathways that are here. I'll explain how these got here in just a minute. I'll also explain, you'll see that these on my back, these do not look like normal elytra. There have been a few changes since the last episode that I figured you guys might want to know about. One of the big ones are these roads right here. So an AfterLife Streamathon, the very first AfterLife Streamathon has happened for AfterLife Season 4, and a lot of what people did is work on individual base stuff, work on some community stuff here and there, and also work on these roads. This is what I mainly worked on in my portion of the Streamathon over on Twitch. If you guys don't follow me over there, twitch.tv/WhiteFyr, I don't normally stream AfterLife. I try to keep this to be a YouTube series specifically because this is really a YouTuber server. So try to keep things on YouTube, but whenever streamathons happen, I hop on Twitch and we are a part of the streaming goodness and all the streaming fun that we have during that time. And I think the roads are looking pretty good. I was a little skeptical if these roads were gonna work well in Spawn, but I think they have started to come along for sure. I think this bridge here was built by Josh, which this definitely was a bridge that we needed. I mean, it was just horrible. It was just horrible looking across this little river area and seeing that we still needed a way to get across. So I'm glad that's been built, and the roads have expanded all the way around here. You can see a ton of additions to Spawn as well. It's really coming along. There have been a few shops here and there that have popped up. I haven't added a shop of my own yet, which we'll get to, probably not today, but hopefully soon enough. I have some ideas for one. But the second thing that I already mentioned as well that's been a change is you can see the elytra on my back. These are elytra, by the way. This isn't modded or anything like that. These are elytra on my back, but they have a slightly different texture, and that's because they've been named dark batwing. So Wintertooth, a member here on the server, has made a texture pack actually, that when you name certain items, certain things, they have a new texture with them. It is a server resource pack, which you can sort of, as an AfterLife member, you can sort of decide whether or not you want to have it enabled. But it does only turn the textures of those things that are named very specific things. You can see, like I said, the dark bat wings here. Winter actually renamed these for me just to show them off during the streamathon. Renaming elytra to this name gives you this looking dark bat wings, which I think look pretty cool. Tons of hats as well. I think Jay as a pirate had, Skunk I think had like a floral hat or something like that. And there's also of course swords and any textures that Windsor has made or added to the texture pack. You'll be able to see if people name certain things certain ways, you'll be able to see those textures here on the server. So pretty cool little addition. I don't know how much we'll be using it. I do like these dark bat wings though, so I'll definitely be keeping these on, but yeah, we'll see. It's a very cool addition, and I think it'll bring a lot of life, a lot of variety to the server. I know like other servers do something very similar, so, and I like how they occur on other servers, so I think it'll add a lot of life and a lot of variety to how you see people around the server. But ladies and gentlemen, let's head over to my main base area because I do have some updates over there for today as well. And I have some plans for today's episode that are going to occur over on the Mushroom Island. So as it comes into view, you'll be able to see it's entirely grass now. Of course, it was entirely grass last time. They said it had all been transformed from the mycelium over to dirt and grass and whatnot, but you'll notice there are no more mushrooms here. I decided to completely remove the mushrooms. We're gonna be adding our own custom mushrooms and stuff like that, so I figured it'd be good to have all those blocks. We've also started mapping out the area just a tiny bit. This is where I think I mentioned before sort of the basic outline of this whole island. So this is going to be the base of our world tree right here, as well as we're going to have mini houses all over the place that individual members here on the server. I'm going to see if I can get a block pile together and have them design some things. And we're going to have my own design of little mushroom houses that are going to be dotted around here. So this is the whole island we have. I think the world tree is in a pretty good spot right there. We'll get started on that in the not too distant future. And in regards to this, I was talking with Jay a little bit earlier and he gave me some ideas as to what should go in here. So I think what we're going to do with this tree, on this left here, we're going to put the portal embedded into the tree trunk. On the right over here, we're going to put an entrance down into a mineshaft area below this island that will probably be a speed mining area. And on the front and on the back here, we're going to have entrances to the tree trunk. I think I'm going to make the tree trunk hollow make a staircase all the way up, so we have like little outposts, basically little flat areas throughout the tree trunk where you sort of peep your head out right where the branches are and whatnot. And of course a staircase upwards, and with that all kinds of overgrown goodness inside. So mushrooms sticking out of the trunk walls, as well as vines and whatever else we think would work pretty well there. So that's my plan for this. That's what I've been planning in my spare time there. But that's not really what we're gonna be working on today, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I have some plans to get started with some of the houses here on the island. In particular, I've already designed a little mushroom house based on, not really based on, but very much inspired by Blondskunk and the vast array of mushroom house tutorials that he has over on his channel. Blondskunk, for those of you who do not know, is a fellow AfterLife SMP member who's done some great build tutorials over the years, especially on mushroom houses as well. So I took some inspiration from him and I made a little mushroom house I think is going to work perfectly over here on the island. And we'll put a few of them on here. I want to see if I can make ones that are a little bit smaller, maybe probably not ones that are bigger than it, but probably ones that are a little bit smaller, and see if we can dot those around the island in between all of the plots that we're gonna have to be making for people to be able to build houses. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump into it. Let's go ahead and build ourselves some tiny mushroom houses. Well, that's a cute little mushroom house, isn't it? Not too shabby. I really like how all the textures have come together here, and what you didn't see in the time lapse is I added spruce to this. So I added a few spruce fences here and added the spruce door as well. If we walk inside, you'll see I added the ladder in here as well, and you can see the spruce floor over here and the spruce floor up here, which I don't really know what we're gonna do with this. With each of these houses, because I plan on having a few of these houses plus some smaller variations with different roofs and whatnot, different between the brown mushroom blocks and the red mushroom blocks, some different variations of those. I don't really know what to do with the inside of these. Maybe just make them have little beds, chests, different things to make it look like there's somebody living here. We could also add villagers to it, but I'm not really sure about that quite yet. And you'll also see the different textures I used here. I used the white concrete powder, I used white concrete, I used the mushroom stem blocks as well for the stem area here. The one thing I did wanted to use, I wanted to use calcite, but I don't have any on me, so I might add that in a little bit later, or I might just leave this one as is. I try to replace the calcite areas with a little more just white concrete powder and a little more mushroom stem as well. I think it turned out okay, but I think the calcite would make it look a little bit better. And on the top here, you'll see the red mushroom blocks, the red concrete, as well as the red concrete powder, which is the same mixture that I had planned on doing. So I'm quite happy with the mixture of textures. I don't think it's overly textured, but I don't think it's under ivory. It's kind of in that perfect mixture. Like I said, a little bit of calcite might be nice, but apart from that, I'm quite happy with how it turned out. Anyways, back over at the main area, the main part of the island over here, one thing I have been working on a little bit, you can sort of see it over here, is I have been working on a little bit of the trunk area here. So I put in a few oak logs. I don't have a ton of oak on me. I need to probably go buy some if I can get some over in the shopping area over at spawn. But I've started to put in the nether portal here as well. I need to move the nether portal from here over to here. And this is about the size that it's going to be. I already mentioned this, I already showed you guys a little bit of this, but this is more what it feels like as we go upwards. I don't know how tall this thing's gonna be yet, but this is about the diameter of what it's gonna be with some extra things on the outside. I think it's a good place to start, but we gotta be really careful that this thing isn't too big and go too far up, because that could just be a pain in the butt. And we don't want to make things that are pain in the butt. We want to make things that are fun to make. So I'll keep you guys updated as I work on this. We may not work on this too much more today. I just want to get a basic shape in while I had some time. But ladies and gentlemen, that's not all for today. I built the mushroom house, but I want to see if I can make a smaller version of it somewhere. And I want to see if I can get in a little bit of a pathway design, start planning out some of the pathway stuff around here, and make the rest of this episode a progress update sort of thing. So I'm going to go ahead, folks, get working on another mushroom house and some pathways, one or the other, or both, who knows. But I'll bring you guys back for a progress update in just a minute. So I have made some progress in regards to two specific things. One of them being what you see in front of me, which is the pathways. I'm starting to put out some stone where I think the pathways around this island are going to be. I can't say for certain before they actually go in, before plots for houses and things like that go up, but I think this is where the pathways are going to go. They're definitely going to come from this trunk entrance and go this way. There's going to be more around that way as well, but we'll come back to that at some point in the future. I have one pathway basically going down to the water down here, and I have another pathway that's heading this way. And if we go this way, it goes next to the sugarcane, as you can see here, which I need to remove that at some point, make an actual auto sugarcane farm, or really just maybe not even a farm. Maybe I'll just buy stuff from spawn if there's a shop there, who knows. But you'll see the pathway that I've laid out here. Pretty simple, combining coarse dirt and path blocks. I think I've used this pathway design before. It's very simple, but it melds well, I think, with the surrounding landscape here. I did try using moss. I don't think I have any on me, but I actually got a stack of moss from Josh, actually, who just decided to give it to me for free. I knew Josh had moss, asked Josh, and I was expecting to pay for it, but good guy Josh, I guess, just decided to give it to me for free, so thank you, Josh. But yeah, I think I tried adding some of that moss and whatnot into this pathway. It didn't look all that great, in particular because of the color of grass that we have here. So I'm not going to use it. We're just going to roll with this. If you guys have any suggestions for this pathway design, feel free to leave them down in the comment section below, because I would always like to know y'all's feedback on this sort of stuff. And because this is a fairly simple pathway, so it'd be nice to spruce things up a little bit. But if we head around the water here, you'll be able to see I added some leaves around here, and I've also added a small mushroom. So you'll see it's a brown mushroom kind of thing. It's using the same stem blocks as over there. It's shorter. It has a door to the side, basically, is what this is. It's using a lot of the same stuff, but like I said, it's the brown top. It's got the leaves. And there really isn't much room to do anything in the middle here, which is fine. I mean, some of these houses I don't expect to actually do much, but I think it's kind of cute. It looks a little weird compared to that one, but I think if we dot a few of these and a few of those here and there, and we start adding in some other buildings, I think this place is going to start to turn out the way that I want it to. But that's all the progress I have thus far. Let me see if I can put in some more of where the roadways are going to go. I want to start planning that out a little bit more, so we can get some plots down for where houses and stuff are going to go. So let me go ahead, guys, get back to working on some stuff around the island here, and I'll bring you guys back for another progress update in just a minute. Well, I have another progress update. It's not a big one, pretty small, just some minor changes around here. But let me show you all what I've done. So first things first, over here, I've gone ahead and expanded the pathway a little bit. I've gone ahead and brought it up to the tree trunk right here. So bring it around this way. I haven't connected this up yet because I need to get more gravel to get coarse dirt, but the pathway now basically connects from the trunk of the tree all the way over to where the mushroom houses were over here. So that part is complete, apart from any modifications that we might make to the pathway design itself. What I've also done, if we fly up, is I put a ton more areas, ton more places where pathways are going to go. And then I started planning things out. I figured, why not go ahead and plan out some plots for where some houses might be. So you'll see I made them out of netherrack. I was going to use stone or cobblestone, but I figured this would be the easiest to tear down. And it adds just a little bit of extra color, or a contrasting color, if you will, to a lot of the things that are in this area. So if we step over here, this is where I've made the most plots. So I've made what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-ish plots. Oh yeah, I would say seven plots over here. This one's a little wonky, but the idea here is plots of varying sizes. That way, whenever I do have people actually making houses over here, other AfterLife members designing them and whatnot, they'll have different variations of plots to use. So got some over here. I have some dotted around the tree trunk, and of course, this is going to expand. If we fly up here, you'll see I've got some more up on top of there that people can choose from. I'm going to be having all kinds of plots all over the island because this island will be filled to the brim with houses, whether they are someone else's design or whether they're my design. That is yet to be seen. I know I'm going to have enough plots here for at least 20 plots for every single AfterLife member besides myself, of course. And then everything else is probably just going to be whatever I decide to build. So these plots are very, I guess, temporary. You know, some of them might end up being bigger, some of them might be smaller. This was just me really trying to figure out kind of the general areas of where some of these plots would go. And I think in this island, we're probably going to have something like 100 houses if we keep this up. I don't know how many plots we have right now, probably like 10 or 15, but we could easily fit probably 100 or so, because some of them are going to be those square ones, kind of like how the mushroom houses over here sort of are. They're sort of the square-ish design, whereas others of them could be rectangles, some of them could be wonky shapes, whatever people might want, and they'll be at all varying levels of this area with this huge tree in the middle. So it's going to be a lot of stuff going on, and I got to make sure I connect up these pathways as well to the stuff that's over here, the other part of the island over here, as well as where Winter has put a lot of the pathways over here. So this is kind of just going to be the entrance to the island from anywhere else, pretty much, sort of like pathways that come from spawn and whatnot, and you'll be able to sort of walk up this way. I might even knock down some of this hill, to be honest with you, but you'll be able to walk over this way, and as you come across here, you'll be able to see all these different houses that it's going to pop up around, and you'll see this huge tree in the middle. So that's the idea. That's the idea behind what I'm doing. We'll see how well it turns out, but that's the idea. But ladies and gentlemen, I have run out of time to get this episode out. Now, in a timely fashion, it's already been delayed several weeks, so I think we're going to wrap things up there for today, though. We have made some good progress. We got our mushroom house designs done. We've started on pathways. We've started planning. Today was sort of like the preliminary episode in terms of planning for all that's yet to come. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for today, though. Thank you all so much for watching this episode of AfterLife SMP Season 4. If you did enjoy the video, feel free to leave a like. If you're new around here, haven't checked out the other content, make sure to subscribe, checking out all the things that I do in this series and other series around the channel. But anyways, folks, take care, and I'll see you later.